Song 2 by Blur, one of the Technical Focus songs. This is heavy indie rock, so lots of energy. Make sure you start the song off at mezzo, forte, dynamic, medium, so not too loud. And then that way, when it goes up to forte, in some of the other sections in the chorus, you've got that nice balance. The first beat is interesting because you will find some notation that you don't normally see, which is the rim of the floor tom, the rim of tom 3. Now be careful, because I see a lot of drummers when they learn the song, they actually play on top of the floor tom. So you need to play on the rim. If you have an electronic drum kit, don't worry. The examiners are aware that not all kits, especially electric kits, have access to the rim of the floor tom sound. So you can just hit the edge and they will understand that that's the correct thing. I'm going to play this beat nice and slow for you. It's a 2-bar pattern that you're going to need to memorize and learn to repeat. Sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you can see on the very last note, we need to be hitting the rim so our left hand has space to hit the top of the drum. When you get it full speed, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's one of those rhythms you're going to need to gradually build up the speed to feel comfortable with. Next up on bar 5, we have trashy hi-hats. Trashy hi-hats is where you open the hi-hat slightly with your foot and then you'll get a half open sound. And this really helps to build the song up. This is another 2-bar groove that's very similar to the first line, but one less bass drum. It sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You should find that a little bit easier than the first bit. Lots of repetition in this song, so do watch out for the repeat marks, because you have repeat marks in the first line and the second line, and then also in the verse. When we get to the chorus, you're continuing this trashy hi-hat drum beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. However, when you get to the 4th repeat of that pattern, we start adding some crash cymbals in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. On bar 26, you've got an interesting bar that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We've had very similar patterns in the grade 1 songs. The only difference with this is that you don't play the hands on the very first beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then after the chorus, it goes back to the main riff playing exactly the same beats before on the trashy hi-hats, but this time we're going to add in some crash cymbals at the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and another one. 1, 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Once you get to the end of that section, the repeat mark takes you all the way back to the beginning of the verse. You'll play the whole verses again, the whole of the chorus again. You'll play the section we've just played with the crash cymbals again, and that takes you all the way on to bar 31, which is the same groove again with the crash cymbals. The only difference is that we have a big flam at the end. So I'm going to play you the last line from bar 31. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and big flam. Make sure you get a nice big accent. Make sure you put a bass drum on the flam and you'll have a nice ending. That's song 2. Have some fun with this one and we'll see you in the next track.